Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we're back for My Hero Academia Season 6, Episode 19. So, last time was crazy. We spoke to the Vestiges. They kind of tested Midoriya a little bit in regards to, like, could you kill him? And Midoriya passed the test by saying, no, I want to save him. Even if everyone else sees evil within him, I just couldn't help but feel in that moment that he wanted to be saved. And Midoriya will save anyone. So it was awesome. We learned that if you pass on One for All to someone with a quirk, their lives are shortened because of the burden of multiple quirks. But if you pass it on to someone who's quirkless, it like binds to their body well, and they're able to hold it for longer, if not forever, like, or at least up until you normally die, right, of old age. But yeah, either way, that's pretty crazy to find out, and the idea that there's not too many people who are quirkless in this world anymore. So it's, he might be the last holder, and that's terrifying to think about, but also pretty crazy. It probably adds to the burden of Midoriya. But without going into too much of a rant, Midoriya has left UA, left notes to all of his friends, telling them about where his powers came from and the truth of it all, and then just left. So hopefully, I thought about this after because I was just in the moment in the episode, so I didn't really think about it, but hopefully they destroy those notes, because if anyone finds one of those like laying around or something, they'd be like, ooh, this is interesting. But yeah, I'm excited, guys. So let's get started and see what Midoriya is like in his crazy post-apocalyptic looking outfit, fighting villains on his own, seemingly. So let's get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Yeah. In a way, they've already been caught up in all this, though. But luckily, at least all the kids are okay. Yeah, Uraraka is gonna take it the hardest, probably. Yeah. I am not here. Damn. Yeah, I said it in the discussion of last episode. Still not the biggest fan of the hood, but the change to the eyes, where you don't just see his eyes. Well, you see his eyes, but like they're like All Mights, where they're shadowed and all you see is the like the pupil or the iris, and that's just pretty cool. And it being more raggedy, I feel like adds to the appeal a little bit. Like seeing him jumping there in the opening wasn't terrible. I might also just be used to it because I've seen the episodes where he's like, I've rewatched the show so many times. I've seen the episodes with him wearing the hood quite a bit. Ugh. Now that we know he leaves UA and everything, I feel like it makes this opening so much more impactful to watch. Like, just watching it, I was starting to get, like, emotional thinking about him going off, but then the idea of the moment of him reuniting with everyone already sounds great, and I hope it's several episodes from now. Oh, these kids. I got one of their names. Well, I mean, I got, like, their first names for each of them. Or maybe I got a name for each of them, I should say. I don't know if it's their first or last. I got Shindo and Tatami is what I wrote down, but at least I have something to refer to them as. Jeez, so much damage everywhere. Hmm. Damn. Well. Shit. Yeah. Shit. Yeah. He put on his little nice act, yeah. Yeah. Oh shit! Is Midoriya gonna be coming after this one? Is this the big one Midoriya sensed? Oh, it's muscular. Oh shit. Are we gonna have a rematch? Oh shit. Let's go, baby. Full power. What does that mean? Oh, I love the title though. Oh god, the civilians. Well, I wonder if these guys are gonna be enlightened to what heroes are still able to do, or not. Oh shit. Is he already getting stomped? Oh shit, Shindo, man. Just that outclassed, right? Oh, yes, some vibrate. Except for Midoriya. Or Shindo will handle it. Full power, baby. He's immobile after he does big attacks, right? Ugh. Yeah. He just becomes a blob. Oh, the face reminds me of Midoriya. Oh shit! Who is that? Purple smoke? I don't think that was Midoriya. Oh, it is! Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay, that looks badass. Oh shit. Holy shit, he does look pretty sick with the mask. Okay, I take everything I said back. I like it. Ugh. You just shove a rock in there? What is that smoke that he's emitting? Ugh. And he just doesn't even come out of the smoke and just takes off. Oh wow, you can recognize it, huh? Oh shit. Oh. Smoke screen. Wow, and he's talking to them like consciously like this too. Smoke screen. Hmm. Thinking too much of him. Float. Nice. Alright. Danger sense. Nice. Into the water. Okay. Probably not gonna hurt him at all. Oh, that's so cool. Full power. Oh, he knows his name. Of course he knows his name. He's like Batman with a utility belt now, having all these different things that he can just pull out and use. Alright. Alright, Midoriya. Can you do it without breaking yourself this time? Oh shit! Ooh. Oh, that was so cool. 45% impact. Oh shit! Damn! Oh shit! Yep. He's the one that can throw things. He can, like, harden things, right? Took him out. What a badass. Nice of the people to help, even though they're... Yeah. Oh, so he does realize. A lot of shit has happened there, Shindo. Damn, Midoriya. That's so crazy. Oh, I love that. Love that. Damn, just one hit him, basically. Hey, All Might. Compression support items. Ooh, nice. They're a lot like the movie. Cool. Oh shit. Hawks. Danger sense. Damn. Alright. A few days earlier. Oh, we're going back to this? Maybe? The conversation of them finding out? Maybe not. Just him waking up. Oh. Interesting. So still worsening, but not as bad as before. Is she gonna find out too? They're not really keeping it as much of a secret anymore. Yeah. This is when he made the choice. Yeah. Aww. Oh, man. Shit's getting me, guys! And it's shit I've already seen. All these flashbacks. Aww. Alright. He holds his cell phone so cool. I was thinking about the way he held it. It's that same pose he likes to take. Yeah. Gran Torino. Oh, that's what he wears around him, right? Yep. Oh shit. So they're all working together. Oh shit. Cool. Shit. What a good episode. God damn. It's insane how, like, every episode this season has been this way. Like, just thinking about each and every episode, really the slowest one, and it was still amazing, was the one where they spent the beginning recapping everything that had happened. That was probably the slowest one, but it was still an amazing episode. So, like, goddamn. It's so crazy how much has changed. Ugh. So we have Japan being with all the prisoners released being turned into a lawless area, like there's not enough police and heroes to keep control of everything. So there's just people, just civilians trying to hold their ground where they are. There's some that are going to safe areas and stuff that are being established. It's pretty crazy out there. That's nuts. It really is almost like post-apocalyptic kind of thing. But alrighty, guys, that is it for episode 19. Yeah, it's I I feel bad for Midoriya having to leave UA. He's still so young. That's the thing. Is so there's like a lot of this that I'm a little sad about for Midoriya's sake. As a kid growing up, he should be enjoying his time through school rather than having to take on the biggest villain this world has ever seen and everything. But there's another side of me that's just like, this is so damn badass. Like the way Midoriya is going around, he has all these powers he's working with, and like I said, he's like Batman, like going in and getting out and not really like trying to take credit for all the stuff that he's doing. So he's going in with the smoke screen and everything, which is a new power that we just learned about. So he now has Black Whip, Float, Danger Sense, and Smokescreen, along with his, base strength and everything. So he legit is just like running around with just a Batman utility belt and just using them in different ways to restrain, sense, and camouflage himself in battle and everything. And it's just so badass how he just goes, drops Muscular off at the police, and then just leaves without them ever seeing who it is, right? Like, this is the kind of thing, like, Midoriya doesn't want attention, but this is the kind of thing that might get Midoriya attention if he does it. If this goes on long enough, they might end up start talking about, like, the man in smoke that appears and saves people or something like that. And people are gonna be like wondering who it is and everything. And I was thinking about before I started recording how if Midoriya is going on this track of like going around beating a bunch of villains, a bunch of like some of the upper class villains and stuff like that, he might start building a name for himself, even if they don't know who he is. But kind of, that's what All Might did, was he went around and he beat so many bad guys and became so known for it that people were scared that he would show up and stop them, and it deterred villainy, right? For at least for the most part. So I wonder if that effect will have for Midoriya, where, if he does get infamous enough by doing this, could he have a little bit of that All Might reputation where people start getting worried, like, oh, we could go rob this house. Yeah, but the man in smoke might come at you, or something. I don't know. But it was just, regardless, it was really badass the way that he was going around and doing that. But it was cool seeing Shindo and Tatami and a few of those other kids from, like, Hayabusa Academy or something like that. They were from the arc where they were getting their provisional licenses, so that was really cool to see them. And Shindo, trying his best to fight Muscular, but didn't really stand a chance. Now, I did want to go back, because when Midoriya was fighting Muscular, he talked about like something to do with the vibrate, when his muscles were like loosening. So I'm just wondering, like, was it Shindo's big blast that caused his muscles to like loosen? I read what was being said, but I couldn't fully understand what Midoriya was trying to say. Let's see here. They talk about full power, but then let's see. Yeah, so right here, his muscles, like, just split apart. The spaces between your extra layers of muscle Muscles whose power has been used up should peel off or be peeled off. A guy like you who hates tactics jumped down to a lower floor on purpose. Is it because something's wrong with how those layers of muscles feel? Interesting. So, did you train with vibrate without noticing? Huh. That was kind of a weird line. That's what threw me off with the whole explanation. Did you train with vibrate without noticing? So basically what it is, at least what I got from those lines was, it sounds like he keeps putting layers on and on and on, right, to defend himself. But some of those muscles on like the bottom layer are the ones that were there for like the longest, because they were like some of the first ones that he put on, and those ones start getting tired, and in order to kind of reset, he has to peel them off. And I think what happened was he pushed himself a little too hard, and on top of probably vibrate from Shindo, caused them to, strain a little bit, and they just popped off when he really like went to go like heat up and push. I think that's like in fight. That was what I was trying to say, not push, but I think that's what he was trying to say. But yeah, that was the wording there. I think could have been better. This is one of those times that I bet if I were to watch this in the dub, it would have made a lot more sense to me. Because I think they do. I honestly, I love watching in subs, but I do sometimes think that the dubs translate things in a way that is maybe a little bit simpler, so it's easier to pick up in the middle of a fight while you're trying to pay attention to all these other things that are going on. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but there's been several moments, I feel like this season specifically, where I've gone and I've watched reactions of the dub, and I've heard how the characters explain something in dub, and it makes so much more sense than when I read it in subs. But maybe that's just me not understanding stuff super well, but that's my gist of it anyway. But yeah, that was really cool. So Midoriya did beat Muscular, but it was also with the help of Vibrate and with the help of, kind of like Midoriya saying, "This is my full power." Afterward is, I think he was referring to like his intellect, because that's one thing that Midoriya is extremely good at, is being able to analyze and think things through and figure out ways to handle things that don't always just mean I'm going to punch you as hard as I can. And so I really appreciate that as well, and Midoriya was able to beat him with just a 45% punch this time. And I think what he did was he went up and then did the 45% at the impact, right? Which is what he does. He runs his body at like whatever he can handle normally. I can't remember what it is now. It's like 25% or something all the time. And then he jumps it for the impact. And I think that's what he did there. And that was awesome. It was so cool. But speaking of his impacts and stuff like that, and his percentages and all that, it seems like in this last battle, when he hurt himself, he was able to... They said he was like bracing, like it was like his quirk was bracing themselves from the inside out. But then it flashed us. That was like the doctor trying to explain it, because the doctor doesn't know about his black whips, right? So I'm guessing that using the black whips is what helped minimize the damage this time. But there was still damage, so he is still deteriorating, but that was probably their reasoning for like Midoriya they kept saying like, oh, you can only use your arms a few more times before they won't be able to move anymore. And this is probably the way that they're kind of explaining like, okay, yeah, that is the case, but because of this new realization, these new abilities and stuff like that, he's able to reinforce his arms a little bit, which is allowing him to not take as much damage when that happened. But then also, he has these support items they can't handle his full power. They're just like the ones from the movie. I imagine, because I don't think the movie was necessarily canon, which is why I don't think they mentioned it here. But but yeah, it's just like the ones that he had the full gauntlet, I think is what he was called it on the in the movie, where it could handle like up to like a couple full power punches, but then like up to like 50% of his power or something like that. So that's awesome that he has that now, because obviously he can't strain them too much, and he might break these every now and then if he ever has to go like way over. I'm sure at some point throughout, like maybe in the last fight, if there is a last fight of the season, hell, I don't think they're even after the big how the season went on. I don't feel like there needs to be a last fight this season. I would almost rather have Midoriya be like on his own taking out these villains and everything for the rest of the season, and then have us go into next season with the build up towards, big fights and stuff like that, with like All For One and all that, or something. But we'll see how it goes. But either way, what basically my point is, at some point we're gonna see those break. But now that they're not just like a one time thing from the movie, it's very possible that he could just get more, right? So as long as they're not like stupidly impossible to make, and they're like, yes, we can only make one of these a year or something like that, but he should be able to like get them fixed. Obviously, it's not going to be good for his physique if the thing that's bracing his arms breaks. It means he's going to hurt his body more. So, but yeah, very much interesting. So the sixth wielder is the one that has a smoke screen. It seems like, right? Very cool. I wonder, like, if there's any other kind of uses of it, or if it's just legit going to be something that can be used for, hiding himself and stuff like that, and getaways and all that. But like, I always wonder when people have these quirks that mix from their parents and everything. Are there any of Midoriya's powers that could like mix in a way that we don't predict now that he's getting several of them, right? But like, could he mix float with smokescreen and be able to like float the smokescreen and like manipulate it in a way? I'm not sure, but just like an idea like that. Or could he like somehow pre-program the danger sense with smokescreens so that the second smokescreen or the second danger sense goes off, like within a certain range of him, the smokescreen activates without him even really needing to think or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to think the best I can of like ways these powers can be like mixed to enhance them in ways that maybe the original wielders never could have imagined them being used. So I don't know. Definitely fascinating. Or like, could he, like, with the power being enhanced by One For All, could he be like Uraraka and make other people float, kind of thing? And could he extend that through his Black Whip? So could he bind someone up and then make them float? So that way, or at least just like hit them and make them float, so that way they lose gravity, kind of thing, and can't control themselves as well, or something like that. I don't know. It's just the idea of having all these powers. It also could just be the powers are what they are, and it's how he utilizes them in different situations, and that's fine too. But I'm just like trying to think outside the box and like what could be the future of his abilities and everything. But yeah. The team up is pretty cool, like having Hawks, Endeavor, and All Might and Best Jeanist all coming together, and Midoriya to work on cleaning up the streets while also work their way closer to taking down All For One. And Midoriya is working with a former number one, and then the current number one, and number two, three, and number two and three, right? So that's like Midoriya is working with some big hitters too, which is really cool. Not that hero rankings in the way society is right now even matters, right? But yeah. I imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of people that are like the people we had this episode, which it was cool that they were so resistant to go with the heroes, but then they saw the heroes fighting for them, and they kind of like amended their thoughts a little bit, and that was pretty cool. They came around to help, and then they said like we should probably reconsider what you were saying, because they realized, they probably saw how much he was fighting and wasn't able to do anything, and they probably realized, well, we wouldn't be able to do shit either. So um but yeah, I also just love that that Midoriya, like, for they like kind of realized it was Midoriya as well, but then also just the fact that Midoriya came into something that Shindo stood no chance of, something that Midoriya barely got out of last time, and just beat him with a single hit and then just flew off with him. And that was just crazy, like, just taught to me watching him fly off like that, taking down this big bad and everything. Like, I feel like he's definitely going to be building some legends, even if they don't know it's him specifically. But we had the scene with the mom and everything, which got me a little emotional. I got, my eyes got a little tiny bit watery. I was like I was so close to tearing up and crying at those scenes. But like there was something about Midoriya being so young and innocent, being like, I'm here as little Midoriya, and then the mom being like, shoot, what is it that she, like, help me, or whatever it is, and Midoriya showing up like that. There's something about that little scene that hits me so hard every time, and it gets me, like, emotional right away. But yeah, obviously the mom, who hasn't been a fan of Midoriya getting hurt because of all of these different situations that have happened over the seasons, obviously as a mom, she's not happy right now. But hopefully she can, kind of accept the importance of what it is Midoriya is doing, because there's not a lot of heroes left that have the strength to combat a lot of what's going on in the world right now. And with a lot of heroes quitting, it's even more important to have the ones that are capable out there doing the good work and everything. But definitely as a parent, I can fully understand why she's, upset, tearing up. But at least she didn't try to, keep him from doing it this time. She was kind of just seemingly accepting it. But she's also now in the know about one for all power and everything, and the fact that he's being targeted. And that's the thing, is she can't really, there's not too much she can say. It's not like she can say like, oh, well, you should just quit because he's being targeted. So really the only choice now is get strong enough so that when you are targeted, you can fight them. And that's what he's working on. And him getting all of this in the field experience with all these random villains that he's going to be going up against is going to be really good for him, because he's already had the mind to think up all these different situations and how to handle certain things in certain ways, but now he's being able to put it into use and practice, and I think that's one of like the most important things. So very neat. The conversation with Gran Torino was good too, but seeing him in that hospital bed was just sad. And talking about Shimura, and Shimura told Midoriya to say hi to him for him, so I imagine he did that there too. And as he explained the fact that she was crying and everything there too, and that was his response of like, oh, she's still crying even there. but yeah, oh man, just so many good things this episode, and craziness. I love it. I can't wait to see where we go with Midoriya. Like, leading up to this point, I enjoyed Midoriya like barely getting out of the situations that he gets himself into. But I am absolutely loving seeing Midoriya having like the upper hand in the situation and handling it. And especially bringing in, for like the first encounter, being someone like Muscular, where Midoriya so barely made it out of that fight. Like that, and then seeing how he handled it here, seeing that growth within him and everything was just really, really cool and really satisfying. So I do hope we continue. Like, obviously too much of it might get a little boring if every fight is too easy for him. But I want at least a good handful more encounters where Midoriya just takes on these villains easily, right? Because that's just really cool progress for his character and stuff like that. So, but awesome, guys. And also the mask, I think might be one of the few things I forgot to talk about. I basically said all my thoughts in the episode. I was worried about how it looked, but it looks badass right now. Like those shots when he showed up out of that smoke and everything, that looked really cool in my opinion. I really hope that there's a lot of other people, because there's a lot of other reactors I watched, that the second anything, like even just seeing the hat on it, like the mask on his back, people would like get pissed. And I hope that their bias doesn't lead them to automatically hate it regardless of what it looks like, kind of thing. Because I usually try to keep myself like unbiased, even though I disliked the mask in the past. I can admit that it looks great now, but I feel like there's some people whose pride isn't that way. So I'm really curious about some other reactors and what they think of the the hood and everything at this point. So but also other people are entitled to their opinions. It's very possible that they're not being stubborn and stuff like that. It could just be that they still don't like it, right? And that's a fine opinion too. It was just I think it's personally great as someone who disliked it before. I think it looks so damn cool. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Cannot wait to see more. I'm gonna be really sad when this ends, because now that I feel like it's been good the whole time, but I'm loving what we're seeing now. Like, I love this post-apocalyptic kind of sort of situation in Japan, and Midoriya going around like Batman cleaning up all the messes that have been, that are all over the place, and saving people mysteriously. It's so badass. I can't even. So I just want more of it. I want more. So we'll see what we get in these last, what do we have? Probably 6 episodes left, roughly. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. Link in the description below, or it should be popping up on the screen. All kinds of good stuff like Better Call Saul, Mob Psycho Season 2 and 3, as well as Sympho Gear I am watching on there at the moment. Check it all out. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.